to thee. 1,000 miles of heavy trials just waiting in the wind for me. With a howling storm and a raging fire, I'll see it through this fool's desire. It's a hope that feeds this funeral pyre. Wanna bury it in my hand. Wander, oh wander, no reason to stay. Go yonder, your fears cast away. A home of breath and bone, so they say. Listen, and I'll tell you a tale. There they stood, the six alone, the hunter, the maker, and the wild swamp zone. A young chief rising and a weaver of bone. Remember, the gate was thrown wide, the horror inside. The riders drew iron, there was nowhere to hide. Before it was done, our heroes, yes, everyone, they fell and died. It's up to you now, kid.
I was muted for that entire thing, chat. That shows you how much of a professional I am. Yay for being nervous. Anyways, so let's rewind here. We just watched our intros. It is 1 year later, chat. We are checking back in with Wizard with a Gun. It came out about a year ago today, on October the 17th, 2023. It was purchased for me as a gift for my birthday, and it was a game I was wanting and wanted to do a review. I do have 2 reviews linked down below, a complete review as well as a day in the life review. Both of those reviews can kind of give you more information than, well, more detailed information than what you're going to get here today. I promise you, no necessarily muted sections in there. The day in the life will probably have a bit more detail to it than the complete review, because the complete review is going over everything. So if you're wanting something more specific on how the game plays, the initial mechanics, what you can kind of expect starting out, then I would definitely check that out. Wizard with a Gun has an absolutely wonderful soundtrack by Ryan Ike, 44 songs. Breath and Bone is a really great one. The Ballad of Hilda down here at the very bottom. Another personal favorite of mine is The Blind Huntress. Snowdrifter is a great one. Overgrowth is a great one. And yet Vulture Circle is a great one. There's actually really a lot of great ones. When you come down here to the night, these are going to be pretty much the exact same as the tracks up here with the same name. In the game, there is a day and night cycle, and the music changes slightly depending on whether it's day or night, and these tracks are the night tracks. Worth listening to as well. The soundtrack by Ryan Ike is one of the few microtransactions that there is for the game. Go ahead and pause you. The game is still $25, and it is a worthwhile, well, if you're a gamer and you're looking for a new game, one that's not going to try to monopolize all of your time, one that's meant to be played, put down, picked back up again, enjoyed repeatedly, as much as you want, really, for $25. It's got a great playtime value. Down here you can see the microtransactions. These are some cosmetic packs that came out with some updates. And then you have the Wizard with a Gun soundtrack. Definitely a worthwhile soundtrack. It was a good spend, $10, especially considering the price of most other albums when you go out to buy and find them by your favorite artists. Hard to get one for $10 nowadays. Sorry, I got a text notification. I'm expecting an important text that I'm going to need to respond to, and kind of distracted me there for a second. I apologize. But for $25, it's a really great, worthwhile investment. The micros, they're not pushed on you. They only ever came out with 2 besides the soundtrack, and it's a really great soundtrack. As you saw with the opening, I was using basically edits of their trailers. You can still find those in the press kit on their website, and of course you can see them here on Steam as well. Besides Steam, Wizard with a Gun is also available on Xbox and PlayStation platforms as well. I don't remember if it's on Epic off the top of my head. Unprepared on that, I'm sorry. But it is definitely very worthwhile. So you can play it multiple different places, even if you're not on Steam, because you see me, because you will see on Steam. Sorry, I messed up and now I'm making more mistakes. Quicksand. But besides Steam, it's available on Xbox and PlayStation. You can get a bundle basically the deluxe edition that comes with the extra cosmetic packs. They are not necessary. They don't give you any advantage in the game. They're literally just cosmetic packs. They were created by the developers to help generate extra revenue for the game. That'll be important later. It is under the Devolver Digital brand. It was created by Galvanic Games, and they did a great job. From what you can see here with the art style, and when we get into the game, because we just started up, they did pay good attention to detail in creating the art and music style. They pair very well together, and it's absolutely wonderful. So it is still available. That'll be important later. It is still available, so you can still get the game. It's an absolutely wonderful twin stick shooter. It's a game, again, that's meant to be picked up, played, beaten, put down, picked up and played again if you want to. It's not a game that tries to monopolize your time. Now, because we haven't done anything, we're going to get into the game here for the first time so I can show a little bit of it to you. Made in Unity, and it has been a minute. I have over 90 hours in the game, so 90 hours for $25. That's really good. You get almost, well, more on that, but you're getting at least 3 times playtime value out of it. And I define playtime value as number of hours that you can play a game without just like uselessly playing or just beating your face into it just to say you played so many hours, right? Just naturally play a game for the amount of dollars that you spent on it, and you should always get at least as many hours out of a game as the dollars you spend on it. There are some rare exceptions to that. Dark Pictures Anthologies would be a good one. But yes, well, Dark Pictures Anthologies would be an example of how, you know, playtime value might not match up with the quality of the game because it's meant to be replayed over and over again. Another game I reviewed, Guardians of the Galaxy, kind of comes up in the same way. You kind of have to play it multiple times to get your playtime value out of it, but with Wizard with a Gun, you have a great playtime value. You can easily get at least 3 times the amount of hours out of the game as the dollars you spend on it. And even more so. This is the save file that I basically have 90 hours on. Galvanic released 3 major updates after the game came out. They weren't them completing the game, it was literally them adding to the game. At a base, the core of the game comes down to your bullets, your guns, the greatest magical weapon any wizard could have. And you have all sorts. You have fire bullets, spark bullets, cold bullets, physics bullets, or force bullets rather, poison bullets, charming bullets, order bullets, utilities that consist of freezing bullets that like freeze your opponent in a block of ice, which is not to be confused with your summoning bullet of Ice Wall, which literally just summons a wall of ice, which again, coming back up here, is not to be confused with your cold bullets that as you continuously shoot an enemy will slow them down and give them the cold effect, making them move slower, react slower, stuff like that, making it difficult for them to get away. You also have teleport bullets. Teleporting bullets are cool. Helps you get in and out of situations across gaps, so you don't. You can take shortcuts through certain areas. You also have fear bullets that cause an enemy to run away in panic. You have water bullets that put down water in an area, and that can be combined with things like shocking and lightning bullets to shock everything in the water area. It all comes down to your guns and your bullets. The bullets are augmented by powders, and these powders have such a huge array that I could begin to go into it, but we would be here for a minute because there's a lot of different kinds of powders that do various different things. Some of them augment certain kinds of bullets. Some of them affect all bullets. But that's what it comes down to. That's the core of the game, is getting different bullets, getting different spells. It's what your bullets are. But getting different bullets, different powders, combining them in different ways and different combinations. Combining them in different ways and different combinations to creatively navigate through an expedition in the world, fighting different enemies, collecting your cogs that allow you to advance through the game, and fighting different and beating different bosses. That's the core of the game. Now, in that, your destruction bullets come into play, because this is basically your resource gathering bullets. It breaks down trees, rocks, structures, allowing you to pick up various different kinds of resources. That allows you to get various different kinds of resources that you can make into things like ingots, that you will need various different kinds of wood and stone. You can make different kinds of charcoal for different kinds of fire bullets. You have ice, water, bits of things that you collect from the chaos and other enemies, poisons that you craft, little tomes, glass. Don't pay no attention to that obsidian chunk. Don't worry about it. But all of those are used in different ways to make different kinds of bullets and powders, because you need certain resources to be able to craft the bullet, make more of the bullet so you have more ammunition, and augment it with your powders. Now, as I said, there was 3 major updates to Wizard with a Gun. An endgame one that comes after you beat the game. You kind of beat the initial story, is the Bounty of Guns update. And it gives you something to do with all of your arcana that you might have stored up, and it gives you more to do after you've beaten all the bosses, collected the lore, kind of customized your tower, decorated it to make it look the way you want. Mine's not a good example of that, so please look away. Well, no, don't look away, because then you're gonna miss some other review, but I'll just move over here. But anyways, before I do that, boom, bounty mechanic. As you go out and you do different bounties, you need your arcana there to be able to start the bounty. You get an item, you bring it back, you turn it in at the bounty mechanic, and you get various different other guns. And these various different other guns open up a ton of new ways that you can experiment and combine different spells and spell effects and powders. They added in the ability for you to get the boss guns from the story. They added in all different kinds of certain unique guns, and then they added in new different whole groupings of guns, such as the Odin's guns and the Cursed guns and the HC guns. And they even added in the mortar cannon as an all-new weapon type with Bounty of Guns. It added in a lot, and the different ways that you can combine all these spell effects and powders allows you to do some crazy things in the world. It allows you to deal out some crazy amounts of damage. You can put down water and oil, send out shocking and fire. As the enemy stands in the water, they keep getting shocked by the electricity, and as they stand in the little oil pit that you set on fire, they're constantly taking damage on top of the other DOT that you're putting out, on top of just plain old shooting them. It allows you to do some crazy stuff, and I'm sure you can find some videos of some people doing some really crazy things, because they're out there. But the Bounty of Guns gives you tougher enemies to use all those crazy combinations and things to take down for these other kind of crazy guns that have their own unique and different effects. It was a really great addition to the game. And it was free. It wasn't them completing the game, it was adding to it. Now, as you can see, my wizard has a certain look, and that is because that's the different things that I've customized him with here. As an example, you can come in here and you can change the glamour of things as you go throughout, and you can have all different kinds of jackets, dresses, coats, dusters, all different kinds of things to make your wizard, your gunmancer, look unique in their own. You start out with a good combination of them, but you get a lot more as you play through the game and unlock things and do things. They have a great system now. It wasn't this way at the start, but now they have these bookshelves that collect the lore together for you. The lore in the game, it establishes kind of what came before you pick up in the tutorial, in the tutorial section at the start of the game, and it explains why things are happening, what's been going on, gives context to everything. Because as you will discover as you go throughout the game, the story is kind of the journey. It's got a lot of good little bits of lore in there. You can learn a lot about some of the characters that you're involved with. You can also learn more as you go throughout the game because of your first edition here. With your first edition, as you scan different things, you will unlock different recipes, but you also get a little blurb about the character, giving you a little more information. We saw this guy playing his songs in the trailers, and they have a lot of different kinds of enemies. And as they added in updates, they even added in new kinds of enemies, not all of which I encountered. But yeah, a lot of characters, a lot of enemies, a lot of bullets, a lot of guns, some great bosses, and even a ton of different things that you can use utility-wise for speed, cold, heat, extending your chaos timer, which is that 5-minute thing you see up at the top of my screen, and various healing items, all of which you'll need to be able to survive a bit better out in the world. You also have various poisons that you can craft. This is one of the various stations that I have here that converts one kind of resource into another kind of resource. Another is the evaporator. Some more are the furnaces and whatnot. The lightning furnace. You also have research stations that allow you to unlock various different kinds of recipes for crafting ammunition, like for the gun layer here. It's a gun that literally puts out ground spaces, little ground tiles that you can walk on, and there's all different kinds of ones that you can learn, and you need resources to be able to learn those. Same thing over here in the Research Mechanica. You learn your destruction bullets, your stations, your basic enemy bullets. And then you come down here, and from this fiery one here all the way down to these two on the very end, these give you different kinds of bullets, different strength of bullets. These unlock the various different kinds of powders, and you need resources to do that. Which brings us right back to where I started, with the bullets, the core of the game. The guns, the bullets, and the powders. It's a very well crafted game. Everything plays into each other. Mechanics build upon themselves. There's challenge at every difficulty outside of, you know, I thought you let me change the difficulty once I was in the game. But all of it builds up, all of it builds on itself, and all of it culminates into a great little roguelike. As you can see, the different art style, or as you can see from the art style along with the music, this kind of matches what we saw in the trailers, and you're hearing Ryan Ike's music in the background right now that is on the soundtrack. Something I didn't talk too much about, but I did mention, you can also build stuff to kind of decorate. This bed doesn't really have any functional purpose. Neither does this bench or these little chairs or the braziers. These bookshelves do, because these again contain the lore. But all these other little things here are just kind of decoration, so you really can, I mean, you can look online and you can see some really intricate stuff. Again, I don't have that, so please don't judge. But you can actually do quite a lot laying out the ground layer, or using the ground layer again. You can fill in all this empty space for more area to build. And the space that they give you in the tower, if you're, I don't know if you're paying attention to your mini map up there in the top right, but it's quite big all on its own. And as you come down through other areas, you can see other different various kinds of things that you can use to decorate. You can learn recipes by scanning these things, and you can populate your tower with them. Here's some sand that I put down just for easy traversal because I had some extra. But they have various kinds of chairs, lamps, bookshelves. Let me come up over here. Yes, here's a good example. They have statues. You can really fill things out. You have weapon display boards. You have little walls to make blocked off hallways and whatnot. You can even give things kind of an icy or a glacial aesthetic or setting. They have different styles to match all the different biomes that are in the game. There are 5 main biomes. Four main biomes. Unless you want to count the tower as its own biome, and then you could say it's 5. The tower is where we're currently at. But there is a lot here in the game to show. There's a lot here in the game to explore. There's a lot to do. There's a lot that, again, like if I come over here to the powders, I could spend a ton of time talking about. But we're not going to do that. I'm not going to ramble on that one for you. So, let's come back to our starting screen here. And let me show you what the first little bit is like and what the intro is going to be like for you. I'm just going to start this up on the normal setting, what would be the default setting, Gunslinger. It's not my first time playing, but we're still going to do it. Meant to pop back in down here. Thank you for letting me know that because I bought the soundtrack that I got a little Maestro outfit. That's not why I got the soundtrack. I got it for the music. The Maestro outfit was just kind of a little extra bonus I wasn't really reading and paying attention to in the description. But this Shadow Money stuff here, this came out... Was this with the Bounty of Guns, or did this come out with the Better Together update? It came out with one of those 2 updates. But it's extra cosmetics that you can use to customize your character. As I said, you have a lot of different options. Because I have beaten the game with a character, I have other options that you won't necessarily have starting out, but they give you quite a lot. So let me see here. You know, we'll give him the Robin. Let's go with a regular old mage hat. Yeah, that's what we'll do. And for an amulet, We'll give him a little cat amulet. And... so he's going to be kind of a dark, spooky wizard, so let's give him some kind of darker apparel. Yeah, we'll give him that, and some boots, some black boots to match. That works. Backpack. We'll give him a good camping backpack there, actually. We'll give him that. It's a bit more rigid for his wizard stuff. And... give him some little purple glasses there. Ooh, now eyes. You know what? There we go. Yeah. Give him flat eyes and make him a little teal. Let's go back up to the hat here. Can't see the eyes. You know what? We'll give him the maestro hair. Yeah, there we go. That's going to be our wizard. Nice and, you know, matching aesthetics. Time to get up, man. Aha, we're a wizard without a gun. Now, as I said, there's various different things that you can break down. There we go. Trees, other objects. This allows you to, this allows you to get resources. You can break down various boxes and other stuff. You might need destruction bullets. Ah, hello, Cryptomancer. Yes, I am still alive. I'm not your first pick. Your first pick's still... Well, then why are you coming to me? The world is ending, huh? Like all good questers, we get a mysterious quest from a mysterious individual. And we start off. Now you also have various plants that you can break down that give you other things, like those tangy leaves are going to be good for healing potions. I am just picking up a couple things here just to show off some of the stuff early game. Freestone. Now when we run up here, we are going to get another little tutorial and we're going to get taught about crafting. Just going to grab a couple things here real quick. In the trailer, there was a bounty sign that we were after a certain person. Someone you saw in the trailers. That's her. But don't worry, she'll be back. Alright, so... boom, come over here. Why I suggested grabbing some of those herbs. But now we craft our first gun. It's just a simple wooden gun, very basic. It comes with 100 destruction bullets. And as you can see with these destruction bullets, we can now break down other things and get more resources. Here is our Here is our wonderful guy singing in the trailers, showing us off the Chaos Portal that we're going to need to get to, well, that's the source of the bad guys. One thing that is kind of annoying is that some of the HUD, like over here, we are not able to get rid of that at all. And certain tutorial indicators like to keep popping up as well. But that healing potion is going to most of the way heal us all the way up. Get a good picture of the Chaos Portal there. This is where you would naturally find out that your destruction bullets can break down a lot of different things. Yes, I've already talked to you. And here is the main enemy that you're going to see of various different sizes and shapes. They will all come out of these kind of little portals, and they are known as the Chaos. Alright, now that we fought back the bad guys, we have to go open up the doorway to our home base, our tower. That's the place you saw me in a moment ago that I said you can customize and decorate, reshape to be yours. And that is going to be right through here. And here is the tower as it starts out. Broken, empty, some stuff lying around to be discovered. Now this is the soul tether. Once you bind your soul to it, it basically gives you free reign and access throughout the tower and allows you to use other aspects of the tower and access other portals that you'll unlock later on. Now we get our first edition. This is what allows us to scan various objects and enemies to unlock different recipes for crafting. See, it's explained. So just to show that off. Now, right now we're just kind of gathering a little bit of lore tidbits on the objects we're scanning. We're not unlocking any recipes currently. Just kind of move around a wee bit. Here's those arcane tomes that are also required to be able to learn things. That's a gear that'll come important here in a second. There we go. You can kind of cheat some things a little bit. Go ahead and grab these gears. This is a different biome area that you can unlock later on. It has a portal that will give you access to the tower and also access to that biome. But we need to go get the very last gear. Now, by finding these little various books around, Hilda, it's the lady we were looking for, but by getting these different little books around, you can find them in boss rooms, you can find them around the open world, you can find them in other various parts of the tower. This is the lore that establishes kind of why what is happening. Kind of fills in the gaps of before the trailers and kind of in between the trailers and what we're doing. But now that we have all 3 gears, we basically want to come up here and come close to the completion of the tutorial. Now, it tells you that it's a god machine that rolls back time. You return gears to it to rebuild more of the world. Each gear allows you to roll time back a further distance and discover more of the shadow. Pretty much what that means is that when you come in here, this is our first area. By getting the first 3 gears, if I come up here, the first 3 gears are these 3. And this is what opens up and unlocks the Chronomancer's Wheel and allows you to roll back time in general. Now, as you go through each different area, you're going to find different cogs that will unlock other cogs, and when you get down here, you've beaten the boss and you're ready to go to the next area. Now, the rolling back of time and the collecting of the cogs, that's what I was telling you earlier. You collect gears, and that allows you to advance through the story. That's the cogs, gears, and that's where you put them in at. You do have to be able to extract out of your expedition with them on your person without dying to be able to bring them back to restore. Now, the restoration they're talking about, we're on a little subset of the map. This is not the full map, but as I zoom out, you can see we're in a little area of it. More of the map will become available as you collect more gears. When you get a boss gear or so many gears that allow you to advance to the next section, you'll see a whole swath of the map open up. Here's the little bit of lore and tidbits. That's what it's giving me the exclamation mark for, in case anybody's OCD's going off. Boom. Hilda, the lady we were after. Now, she's our mentor and ally. She kind of gives you a little bit of context to the Chronomancer and some of the stuff that's been happening. Now, at this point, we unlock the crafting station for our bullets. This is the table I was showing off that had all the different bullets and powders in it. It is going to be like your main tool that you're going to be using. Oh, something to keep in mind down here as you're refilling bullets. It gives you the maximum ammo count that weapon can hold. So where I have 237 out of 300 here, it does cost the same amount of resources to only get 63 bullets as opposed to the 100. So be careful not to waste resources. Now, this is going to tell us more about first edition and a little more about the cogs. Basically, she has you scanned the loading bench to learn the recipe, and that's how we learned it. Ooh, we need some metal scrap, eh? So let us pull out our destruction bullet here. Where's Mia-san? That works. Now, for those of you that have a keen eye, these are very important as you see them around the open world. They contain various resources, and they contain arcane tomes. Something to note, you can hold down the trigger with some of the weapons to continuously fire them. Some of them you do have to tap them. Go ahead and collect some of those. Those are important items for crafting. Now that we come back here, we can craft the world builder. This is how you decorate your tower. It's how you also put out various things that you need to craft various items, refine various resources into other resources. But it's also how you decorate. I'll let you discover the lore and context and whatnot yourself. I don't want to give too much away in that regard. Now, once we collect those gears, we got to go back to the tower. And it was telling you about putting the gears in like I was showing you earlier. As you put gears in, it unlocks other gears and expands the world. You roll back time. That exposes that extra bit of the world, the shatter, as they're calling it. Chaos, the main bad guys. Because we've rolled back time to before they destroyed everything, they're going to keep spawning after that timer up at the top of our screen runs out and try to wipe everything out again, us included. The world begins to end when that timer runs out, and at that point, we need to get back to the tower. Later on, when you've got better guns, better powders, better combinations, you can fight them. But at first, it is quite dangerous. Now, at this point, we are told by the Cryptomancer here that we need to go find the Mechantress. And the Mechantress is the first boss. She is one of the riders, and the riders are some of the people we saw in the trailers. Those are the bosses. Now, crafting bullets, coming out on an expedition, retrieving things, going back to the tower. That's pretty much what you're going to be doing outside of fighting things throughout the entirety of the game. You will, as you venture around, find various things that you need to harvest for resources. You have these items, you have the trees, you have these bushes for those herbs that allowed me to make the healing potion, trees for wood, rocks for stone. But you will also have little areas where you will find people like Hilda, young Joshua, and other characters that can help you out as well. At this point, Hilda is teaching me about the furnace and wants me to scan it so I can get the recipe. This is one of the first refinement stations that you get. See, there we go, same stuff about Hilda. Now, also going to grab that charcoal because it's an important resource. Here's like a little Mercy healing statue. The statue of Flora. Going to scan that as well. Now, at this point, we can see over here that our overarching objective is to find and locate the boss. You know, defeat the boss. But while we're out on the expedition, since we still have a little more time, we need to see about collecting some resources. Right now I'm grabbing some stuff that is very useful in making various healing things. Potions. they can kind of be a pain later on. Now you will notice that some of the trees have these strawberries and some didn't. They do a great job of putting various resources together. Another example of this, the chaos hasn't come, but they're still trying to get there. Now when I grab that, it extends your timer. You will see those as you go throughout various expeditions. Collecting the little bits they drop extends your timer, gives you more time. But let's say I had a fire bullet and I shoot this tree down. I can get different resources from shooting the tree with different kinds of weapons. Like I can get charcoal by shooting it with fire. I can get rotted wood by shooting it with poison. Great attention to detail. It basically gives you a way to get more of a certain kind of resource on an expedition, or even be able to get certain resources before you would normally be able to get them because it wouldn't come until a later biome. Very crafty, very creative. I'm basically just running the timer down because as we would be moving along on the map, we would have the ability to move out and find things for different cogs or gears, basically things for our time machine, and that would unlock more of the Imperium. But harvesting resources is a part of the game, so I want to make sure to show that off too. Something else to keep in mind is that as I'm using my destruction bullets, I can use those to fight, as you saw. I can use them to collect resources, as you saw. But no matter what I do, I'm draining the same ammo pool that I have. Which is why it's really important that Hilda taught us about the ammo crafting bench. They give you a good sized world to explore, various creatures. You have a dodge for combat outside of being able to heal. Dodging is your most important method of survival because it allows you to avoid damage. Outside of that, it's just moving around, killing things before they get to you. Now, I'm also only using a pistol right now. As you go throughout the game, you will unlock various other weapon types. Most of them you'll be able to unlock from Young Joshua and craft through Young Joshua. And he will be your primary source, at least initially, of getting different weapons to experiment with. You can find them throughout the world in chests that are near like little enemy camps or near an enemy to fight, like kind of like a world boss. Grab this. And there's a gear that we can go out and collect. Here's something that's not exactly an enemy, but we could charm it if we had charming bullets and turn it into an ally. The chaos enemies cannot be charmed. Oh no, the world's ending. Ah, we have to run. We're getting bombed. There's chaos portals. Dang it. Okay. Gonna need to upgrade that to scan faster first. And we're just gonna make a beeline for our exit portal here. Now, as we hang out here, see, enemy takes some shots, eventually he goes down. But as we hang out, it might be here in the next little bit or so. Aha! See if I can show this off. Okay, because this is my first expedition, we're only going to show those guys. In the upper left-hand corner, you can see other things that are getting unlocked from me scanning that enemy. Come on, spit out a bigger enemy. Well, under normal circumstances, the longer you hang out with the world, you know, ending like this, the Chaos Portals would spawn out various bigger enemies that have different kinds of attacks, more powerful attacks. But they're not going to show that off right now, and that's fine. And boom, we came back. We didn't have any gears to put in the machine, but we had resources that we collected, so now boom, we'll repair a little bit of our tower here. We're gonna need an ammo bench, so we'll throw that out. We're gonna need a storage chest for all the resources we're gonna be getting. Go ahead and open up a little more space here. And we'll just put our resource chest. You know, we'll just put that right there for right now. Now, the little arrows that were coming out of it that you saw going to the ammo crafting bench will allow the ammo crafting bench to access all of the resources in that chest specifically. Now, this is your Arcana Bank. Or, no, sorry, this is not the Arcana Bank. This is the Annihilator. Let's say you had an item that you didn't have room for, or say you had one little thing you didn't have room for, or you wanted to break down and get rid of, you can convert it into more Arcana. So if you don't have room for something, or you can't think of a use for something, or you just don't like something, you don't just have to waste it or drop it or throw it away or get rid of it. You can convert it into Arcana, and your Arcana can be stored in your Arcana Bank. Now, we need to craft up some more ammo. Boom, we got more ammo. We don't have enough metal scraps in the chest. Nope, just got 2. So we would need more to be able to upgrade our first edition. And it allows it to scan creatures. Now we also have the arcane tomes that we can use for various other things here. So let's learn our fire bullet, otherwise known as the burning bullet. Now in learning the burning bullet, I could then put that on my wooden gun. Instead of having just destruction bullets, now I have fire bullets that can also set things on fire. Because I learned the fire bullet, I can now learn fire research station. Fire research station down there now. You can now upgrade your fire bullets. You can now learn fire trails, which is a powder that augments the bullets. You can learn oil bullets, which can be set on fire by fire bullets, causing extra damage over time, and so much more that you can learn as you go. Going on an expedition, getting resources, getting your gears, getting new guns, coming back, crafting bullets, more ammo, upgrading your stuff with powders, researching things to get new recipes, that's the game. And with 4 major different biomes, plus a couple of different final bosses to fight, basically, and the ability to replay the bosses once you beat them as you go throughout the story, you got a lot of experimenting to do. A lot of great stuff. Now, the bounty of guns thing. Once you get through the entire story, you're not done yet. You have your bounty of guns. This is where you get to combine all your crazy stuff. This is where you get to put it all together, try to make the most effective, craziest thing that you can. Let me see here. Something I really do like is that you can also name your guns. Something I forgot to mention earlier. So if you want to name it something that you know exactly what combos are on it, you can do that. Now this tower, from what you saw from the other one, is much more upgraded. We've got all the research stations with all the stuff learned. Where is my ground layer gun? It's over here, isn't it? Okay, I might show that off. I might not. Oh, I've already got 810. So we'll go ahead and pop on out. We'll drink a little speed boost to help us get around quicker. But yeah, once you beat the game and you have the... Oh, just to show you the map real quick. This is what it means by it reveals more of the shatter and unlocks the map the more gears you get. These are your boss icons, these are your portal icons, these are your chaos boss icons. This is young Joshua's. This is the guy that's going to help you get your guns at the start. This will show you a star, will show you where a gear is when you're early on in the game. For where I'm at in the game, it's going to show me where a particular bounty is. And we're going that way. Oh. Let's show you some of the different chaos enemies. Let's go ahead and grab some resources. Boom. Big chunk of time back from that. That's also because it was in a later biome. The desert biome down here is the last biome you unlock. So it's portals there for your chaos enemies where you get the item that extends the timer. Because there's harder enemies there, bigger timer, because it's later game. If that makes any sense. Now that I'm thinking back on what I said, that might not make no sense. But we need to go get some bounties. doing? There's another one. Gets us a smaller bump to our timer. But we need to go find these bounties. And here is one of them. He's got a shield. He's throwing out plasma bombs that are leaving plasma area of effect on the ground, and who knows what he's shooting. Okay, I cannot freeze him. But he went down. And here is the item, the Imperium bounty. That's what we returned back in at the bounty mechana. And that'll get us one of our special bounty of guns. Some other ways you'll find the chaos out in the world, especially in a later game. Throws him in place. Oh, there's not hit anything. Oh, and there's another type of resource, ice. And then we have our goats there. Okay, are you a bounty enemy? No, you are not. We're just gonna keep on going. Another way you can get bounties, besides having to find those different things out in the overworld, is where's my spawn-in portal? There it is. Is that you will come across these little bounty boards. Now you can spend your arcana that you had on you. That was all that stuff I had stored up. Whoa. Oh, let's go with something a little more crazy. Let's throw down some oil, start spreading some fire. Let's really show them a good time, right? So we have the ability to freeze, we have the ability to burn. Go and reload. Now this other bounty, because it's going to give us an area because we spent Arcana instead of finding the thing that kind of points exactly to it, so we're just going to have to come up here, find the big guy, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Sorry. Alright. We have various kinds of enemies that we'll find throughout the world. Here's some more over there. But we are looking for this guy. Now, I feared him, so he's running away from me. That's what that little scary face is. And I have some extra effects on my... powders that any damage that I do to feared enemies or any poison damage I do to feared enemies is increased. But this guy is also throwing out these little towers that are throwing out these balls on top of his normal stuff. And it looks like we have... Now he's bombing me with mortars. He's got a big area of effect stomp attack. I've attracted some other enemies around here. Cool, let's take care of some ad control. Oh, that's not going to be very good. move around all like these little traps. Now you can see up by his health bar there that he's getting this little poison bead. Okay, I am getting really tired of you all. Now, with all the crazy stuff you can do, it can make it really easy to get resources later on. Will you just stop? You can shatter freezing opponents. Let's set all that fire. Okay. Whoa. Now we're stacking up. As you can see, that little green icon up there by his health bar, that shows the poison stacks. As you add on stacks of things like poison, cold, shocking, various things, wetness, it basically adds up to do more damage to the bad guy. Oh. Okay. Now we can come in here. And we can pick up the bounty from him. And it looked like a big one. The bounties are set by the enemy or the region. There's no big or small. Now, what can be big or small is what you get from it. That is random. And let's just go ahead and be on our way. Leave those chaps. Oh no, I fell. South. Oh, young Joshua. Let me show him off. But in the beginning, this is the individual that's going to allow you to get your various different things. Shabby weapons at first. Hey. Go away. Shabby weapons at first, then you move up to the rugged, then trusty, then refined. And the mortars were added in. That was added in with Bounty of Guns. It's a new type of weapon. Well, I mean, with it being a year old, well, Bounty of Guns, I want to say that was in like May, maybe? I forget. It was earlier this year, but I want to say it's been maybe something about 6 months or so since that update came out, so they're still kind of newish. Now here we can normally turn in these bounties that we have here, like the Golden Bounty or the Imperium Bounty. We would need to turn them in at the Bounty Mechana. But it is something that you can scan. Stop. But it is something that you can scan and thus get a recipe for. So we're just going to come back to the tower. Now we need to reset time here. so we can go on another expedition. Oh, they got the whole big hitch out of there. That's good. Awesome. Let's turn those in at the Bad Mechana. Oh. That's new. Haven't got one of those yet. Void skimmer bug, huh? Let me just throw... stone. There we go. Boom. Now these weapons that I got here, the Damnation, I also got this Anathema, a cursed gun that deals extra damage, but at the cost to the wielder. It, like all of the other cursed guns, deal damage to you, but they do extra base damage. You take like 1 damage, take like 1 HP per shot, 2 HP, 3 HP, that kind of thing. Not huge, but enough. I don't have any room in any of my banks, do I? Okay. And let me see what I can put away here. Okay, I'm maxed out on you. Maxed out on you. I do have open spots, but those are dedicated for other items. I have my organization system, chat. Don't make fun of me. It's not polite. It's been a minute as well, so just bear with me. Oh, I guess I can put a little bit of you in there. Okay. Don't know if I really need to be holding on to those, but why not? Oil, not only can oil be used for Not only can oil be used as a crafting item, it's also used in the creation of certain ammo types, like oil bullets. You need mechanical oil to be able to make that. So the resources play into various different things as you go, which is really nice. Okay. Those would be worth holding on to. Okay. Long chest. Don't judge me, chat. I might be a hoarder. I might not be. Don't judge me. Okay, so I can't actually walk through there. Okay. That's going to get annoying. Okay, so let's convert that. We don't need... Actually, we do need you. And we do need you. But the rest of this, we are plumb full on. I'm sorry, fellas. Go ahead and convert that. Seems important. Now, Wizard with a Gun was only co-op 2 people. After the most recent update, Better Together, it is now 4-person co-op, so you can play with up to 3 of your friends. And that, ladies and gentlemen, guys and gals, boys and girls of all ages, is about the quickest I can show you just about every aspect of the game without spoilers of stuff in later game. That's the whole loop. That's all you're doing. That's the resources you're looking at. That's the basic gameplay. That's the basic loop. Plays easy, plays well, very smooth, great art style, great music, great price at $25. I strongly and definitely recommend this game. I myself have gotten over 90 hours of play before tonight with it. I didn't quite mean to go for an hour and a half, but I did have that technical issue at the start. Anywho, I want to say thank you everyone for coming out. It's Wizard with a Gun's birthday. It's a great game. Now, the things that I alluded to I would be mentioning later are due to this. Unfortunately, on June 14th, 2024, Galvanic Games shut down. Wizard with a Gun, while it is a great game, it launched in a time period where there was lots of other things coming out. There was lots of other big titles as well. It launched later in the year from Hogwarts Legacy. Baldur's Gate launched earlier in the same year. There was a lot going on around it. Galvanic had to shut down though, so we won't be getting any further updates to the game. We won't be getting any further free content. But it's still a great game. It's still worth your time. And I highly recommend it. Now, Wizard with the Gun is again, I did some reviews on it. It's kind of one of the games that was a part of me kind of getting into doing reviews and whatnot, and it's near and dear to my heart, which is why I did this little thing. I'm not sure if I'll do it every year, but maybe. Who knows? It'll be an excuse to always come back and play a little bit of it. And I don't always have to show it off like this, but I wanted to show it off like this. There's a lot of depth to it. I can't show all that off, and I also didn't want to show off too much of the later game. I want, if you're interested in it, I want to leave something for you to discover and explore. You can see things in the reviews, but be careful, they can be spoilers. The A Day in the Life review will be the one that is most spoiler safe, if you will. I have a little section in there where I talk about spoilers, but I specifically kind of highlight that verbally and on the screen before we get into it. For now, everyone, thank you all for coming out. Thank you for some of your time. Thank you all for helping me to say happy birthday, Wizard with a Gun, and show it a little bit of love. Tomorrow we'll be resuming with the Creeptober streams, and we'll be at the usual time, 7:30 Eastern. We'll be picking back up with some Evil West. But until then, please drop a like, share this around, try to get Wizard with a Gun out there to more people, show it off to people. If you like Devolver games like Cult of the Lamb, you will like this game. Just going to put that out there. Just put that out into the ether, as it were. But most importantly, please have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.